Hey guys, Life Through Lens here. This is a new episode of Vocal Box, and this is a new way of recording Vocal Box. So, this is going to be very interesting. I think I'm just going to do like one whole raw take, no cuts, no cleanups, no nothing, just my voice and my visuals. So that way it's just me and you. I mean, maybe if I don't like how this comes out, then maybe perhaps I'll drop background music, but I'm going to try to remain as consistent as possible. This is very, very on the go, impromptu. So if I do have like long pauses, then that's also kind of why. I think in the future, I am going to make it a habit to prepare my, I guess, topics that I'm going to talk about in these videos. But I think this is what I'm going to try to do from here on out is try to like give you guys a visual. Maybe occasionally I'll do like background stuff, like, add like a background video or like background music, something like that. But I think for the most part, I want to make this a little more interactive. So, and it really is just me and you and this microphone that I look like I'm gripping weirdly. This is really something new to get used to. But what kind of made me think of this is if you guys know who Noel Miller is, he does this segment called Company Lot. And, I've been listening to that commentary segment for I don't know how long now. He's got a good few episodes. I want to say maybe 6, maybe more. I'm actually in the midst of listening to his 6th episode. So as of now, there probably is like another episode or two. But yeah, listening and watching his segment kind of made me think I kind of want to be a little more on camera, make it a little more personal, and kind of just bring that connection a little closer between you and I. That way it's not just faceless stuff. Plus, I mean, let's be honest, you guys have seen my face. You guys have heard the voice that this face is connected to. So really there's no reason for me to kind of hide my face unless I'm just not in the mood, or if I don't really see myself prepared for it. Like if I'm not prepped, like let's say my hair is a lot more messy than this, which I mean, by the way, I just got out of the shower, so it might be a tiny bit messy, but let's say it's like super duper messy, like bed hair, or let's say the wind just completely messed it up, then yeah, odds are I'm not going to be on camera. But other than that, I really have no excuse to be on camera. And I think I really am going to inhabit this whole clean cut, just straight raw dogging it. That don't sound right out of context. But yeah, you guys get the gist. I mean, maybe, just maybe, kind of like any other video like vlogs, I'll probably do some edits to it. But if not, then maybe I'll just kind of keep it clean cut. So whatever you guys see, whatever hand movements, hand gestures, whatever like posture you guys see, it's just going to be there. And any errors that I make, I'm not going to correct on the other end. Just so it really, really is more personal and more human-like. I'm also going to make a habit of looking into the camera. I want to look into you guys' eyes. I'm staring into you guys' souls. Nah, I'm playing. But yeah. So yeah, this is kind of the setup for now. This is my bedroom / office. To the right of me is my bed. It is where I sleep every single night. Right now I am at my desk. It contains consoles. It contains what you guys can see is a TV screen, and underneath you guys, what I have my camera rested on is my laptop, which is what I utilize for these recordings. This is my laptop, this microphone, and I think for the next one, I am going to try to position it a little better, my camera. Right now, it's a little crooked. I'm tempted to fix it, but I know if I try to, I'm going to overanalyze, so I'm going to choose not to, especially if this might not be too long of a segment. Compared to the other episodes, I don't think this one's going to be too long. I think I'm going to try to keep this like nice and simple So this probably won't surpass 20 minutes or anything, especially since looking at my camera right now, it is kind of at 2 battery. So it's got half, maybe less than half of juice left. So I'm going to try to not have this recording for too long. And if it does come close to dying out, then I might just have to abruptly end it. And I think that's what I'm going to try to kind of capture within this whole segment. Also, I am going to stand up a little bit. If my face, I think my chair just bumped into my fan, which is right there. But I don't know if my face is being captured properly. If not, then I'm just gonna have to like work with sitting down. But occasionally you guys will see me kind of stand up, kind of get a little loose, get a little comfortable with you guys. So in that way, if you guys are watching it, then, you know, for all we know, you could be in the kitchen, you can be in your room, in an office, you guys can be, I don't know, walking outside. Or, for all we know, probably taking a dump on the John. You guys can kind of, I guess, relate to whatever gesture or motion or stance that I'm translating to you guys. So, might kind of make it a habit to like move around a little bit, kind of like stand, sit down, maybe even crouch a little just to kind of really get the vibe going. But, yeah, so not to drain my camera battery, I want to just jump straight into kind of a little bit of a funny topic that I thought about, and I have been thinking about it almost every day because it relates to an everyday thing. So what I have in my notes as a way to remind myself, don't judge me. The idea of talking in the bathroom, in particular public spaces, you know, like restaurants, your workplace, gas stations or whatever, even though I think gas stations are more like personal closed bathrooms versus like open, you got multiple stalls, you got multiple urinals or whatever the case may be, just kind of like public places. For me, and I kind of want to sit back down now. My fan just fell over. But yeah, for me, I'm not really much of a talker in the bathroom, restroom, washroom, whatever you want to call it, depending on wherever you're from. I'm not one to really converse there. It's like if I'm there, either I'm taking a leak or I'm dropping a dump, I'm not going to want to converse because I'm either focused on how long I'm going to be standing there or how long I'm going to be sitting on this very toilet, on the porcelain throne. Like I'm not going to be chopping it up with you. I'm not going to be chopping up to the guy to my left or my right, whether he's at the urinal or in another stall. I'm not going to be chopping it up. The only thing I'm chopping is whatever is probably falling out of me. So I'm not one to really converse. But you know, some people I guess kind of talk in the restroom as a way of just getting comfortable, which I find it kind of interesting. It's fascinating how that kind of works. Like I get it, but I don't get it because I wouldn't do it. For me, silence and focus is what gets me. And if there is to be any other noise, odds are it's the music in my headphones or it's a video or podcast that I got going on, or maybe even like a TV show or a movie. Other than that, if it's an actual being, no. Like, no. I'm here to do what I need to do and get out. I'm not here to converse. I'm not here to spend a longer time in here. It probably reeks. I'm not here for it. It's kind of similar to like when someone kind of grunts or exhales and it's like a major, major exhale. I mean, maybe it is a thing that comes with age and that's just kind of how they express like a sensation coming over them. But it's like, that's another thing I kind of find odd is when someone is just there doing their business and then you hear them like grunt or exhale. I guess it's more oriented towards taking a leak. You know, it's like if you're in a stall and you're dropping a deuce, or I guess to kind of just say it outright. If you're taking a shit, because it is past the 1 minute mark from what I could see. So I'm safe. If you're just taking a shit, I can understand grunts. I can understand all sorts of noises, because for all we know, it could be painful as hell. It could be painful. For all we know, you may need some stool softener. You may need some Pepto Bismol, some whatever the case may be. This is an interesting topic. Wow. But a very relatable one though, I'm sure. But God, I might need a counter for how many times I say but that really is a filler. That's like my go-to filler. So it's like taking a piss. Yeah, I can understand it. It's kind of like, in a way, I understand it, but I don't understand it, because I find myself in that circumstance where I do just kind of let out an exhale. Because, like, let's say you've been waiting to do it, you're like holding it for however long, right? And you've been meaning to really, really just let it out. Like, let's say you've been on the road, you finally make a stop, and you're like, sweet, I finally get to relieve all of this pressure and then head back to my journey or my trip. Yeah, I can kind of understand letting out an exhale. It's like a natural response to sensation is like an exhale. You know, like when you're getting a massage, like let's say you're getting like a back massage or like a neck massage, and they hit just that right spot. And then you're just kind of tempted to give out an exhale. I can understand it. But at the same time, it's like if you're taking a quick leak, like if you just like, let's say you drank some water and you're looking to take like a quick like minute leak. Don't be sighing. Don't be letting out no noise. Just get it done and get out. Like that just makes it awkward. Like I can see doing it alone, but in public, like man, don't make that time so personal. I mean, maybe it's personal for you, but in my mind, from an outer perspective, I'm feeling uncomfortable as hell. Like, you know what I mean? I get it, but I don't get it in both of those circumstances, because I found myself doing that in both circumstances, but then I'm also more keen on just remaining silent. I don't like talking. I don't like making noise. All I'm focused on is letting it all out and then dipping. The bathroom is not the place I like to be. So I don't like making things personal or having like a personal chat. Just like, oh yeah, like I see you're taking a shit too. It's like, yeah, I am taking a shit. How'd you know? Are you able to smell it? Are you able to hear it? Because I'm not making any noise. And I'm sure there's other telltale signs. So if I'm not making any noise, leave me alone. Leave me to my releasement. Relievement? I don't know. This really is an interesting topic. I didn't think I was going to yap about this for a few minutes. But yeah, I guess another topic I can probably drop in here before I'm thinking of cutting this off. I guess like the idea of possibly forming a new space. Like I'm either going to try to transform this space into a better set piece when recording these videos, like something a little more pleasing. Like maybe I'll throw up some like interesting stuff to kind of look at while you're listening to this or watching this. I guess it's more visual, so watching this. But I think by the time I do move out of this place, I want to try to find a place where I can actually like separate, my gaming, my video creation. I want to separate that from the bedroom, because as convenient as it is, having all of the bed stuff and everything next to the office stuff, it can be very, very cramping, and it just kind of takes away the atmosphere of like stepping away from everything for the night and just taking a nice rest. Just getting in some good sleep. You're not worried about what's on your desk. You're not worried about your game consoles or your computer. You have all that separated. You have a separate space, separate entity. You have one spot for creation, another spot for sleeping and kind of just re-energizing. And I think that's what I want to do by the time I move out. Once I move out, I want to find a space where I can stick this in a corner somewhere, whether it's in its own separate room, or maybe I'll stick it in like a section of like a living room. I don't know. I have yet to figure that out. For the place I'm looking at, might be ideal to kind of keep it all separate, even if it is within a similar confine. Like let's say it is a studio. It looks like it might, it looks like it might have enough space to where I can stick all this in one corner, and then the rest of the space just be sleeping and whatever may have you. But if I can find a 1 bedroom, at least, especially knowing this economy, then yeah, I want to put this like either in like the living room or whatever, and then put my bed in obviously the bedroom or something. Just I'll work something. And plus, not to mention, it could really help with the whole idea of creating a set piece. You know, that way it's not just like looking at the same area that I sleep, which is kind of odd, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate. A lot of content creators can relate. I mean, let's be real. A lot of content creators didn't start off with like a separate space for their work. Most of them started off in their bedroom and they just kind of had to make do with whatever they got. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm making do. I'm trying to readjust everything as possible. That way it's all nice and visually pleasing, but without giving the atmosphere that, yeah, this is a bedroom. Like, obviously it's a bedroom, yes, but I want to like remove that aspect without literally removing it. So I'm sure you guys get the gist. You guys heard me rambling about that on and off in a full circle. So you guys get the idea. But I think, let's see, we're capping in at nearly the 17-minute mark. I think soon here I am going to close off this video. Hopefully it is, something, a bit of a change of pace. I want to make this more of the reality and then make the whole like background gameplay thing a occasional thing versus this being occasional. I want to make this more of a common occurrence. So yeah, hopefully you guys are kind of on the same boat as me. Hopefully you guys find this a little better. I realize that for the audio listeners, the first half of this really is interesting. For anyone that is just letting this play in the background, I am so sorry. You heard me yap about pissing and shitting. I'm so sorry. The next episode will not contain that. Like maybe the next episode will contain cooking or like, I don't know, about the wants of adventure. Maybe it'll be another like personal subject. Like, I think definitely for the next episode, I might have some interesting topics to talk about, but they definitely will be a little more personal. So it's more of those who really, really can relate to where I'm at with life versus just like, oh, yeah, general public. Like, no, this might be a little bit more specific and might be a little more catered to like a certain type of audience. But for stuff like this, for like an episode like this, obviously anyone can listen to this because anyone can relate. So it's not necessarily like specifically geared towards a talking point. But I think for the next episode, I'm either going to record it within tonight, just so then it's still fresh in my mind and I can get it out, or I'll probably record it like some other day. Because this really is a topic that isn't leaving my mind. So I'm not too concerned about it, just kind of getting lost within the ether of my brain. It's kind of stuck in the forefront. And I'm sure one of these days I am going to record it, get it out there. And I guess just kind of give some insight from like one being to another. Get like real personal with you guys, like not super personal to where it's like detail for detail, but a little bit more on a down to earth scale where I'm not talking about restroom scenarios. So yeah, this is Life Through a Lens. I can't remember which episode this is, but I'm sure you guys will know what episode this is within the title. That's like a given. But yeah, this is yet another episode of Vocal Box, and I love you guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new here. Click the notification bell. Wouldn't hurt to stay up to date. I'm sure you guys will find all sorts of interesting topics that are soon to come to this channel. So it'd be a blast to have you guys along the journey. And yeah, this is Life Through a Lens, signing off.